Steve, how welcome or how tough is the break been over Christmas in terms of trying to keep tabs on everything?
It's different. It's a different job. Listen, Christmas at home with the family was nice. New Year was nice. Put on a few pounds. Hoping to lose them soon. But plenty of games to watch. Keeping an eye on the boys, seeing how they're doing, and preparing videos, looking at the opposition coming up. So there is enough to keep me occupied.
There's so much talk in the build-up to this one about whether there should be a shutdown for the SPFL or the Premiership clubs in the build-up to this one. What sense are you getting back from the clubs and from the league if that's going to happen?
No, there's not. I don't think there's going to be a shutdown, and it was never something that we never requested a shutdown. All we asked for was common sense, and if the broadcasters would not put a game on the Sunday, if the league wouldn't play any matches on the Sunday, that would be great. But we also know on the back of that there's a potential for Celtic and Rangers to hopefully still be involved in the Europa League in the week before, which would mean that they would have to play on the Sunday. If that's the case, then we'll have to deal with it. What I will say is that I'm pretty sure the players, when it comes to that match, whether they've got a week to prepare or a day to prepare, they'll be ready for the game.
How beneficial would that extra day be though for you, given the tight turnaround?
No, I think if for example the league could agree to come forward and play on the Friday night, if you had all the fixtures on the Friday night, then it makes sense then that you've got the Saturday, Sunday for the players to recover, and 3 working days into the game on the Thursday would be a benefit. If not, then you're going to have the games on the Saturday, Sunday, Monday to recover, and 2 days to work into the game on the Thursday. But like I said, I'm sure no matter how long we've got to prepare, and we can do a lot of work in the classroom, if you like, the video work, the team will be ready for the game anyway.
Do you get a feeling there's a willingness to help at where people can help?
Yeah, I think as much as possible. People will try and do whatever they can. I think everybody wants Scotland to qualify for Euro 2020, and to do that, if they have to help us a little bit, then I'm sure they will. Or if they can help us a little bit, I'm sure they will.
Steve, how pleased were you to see Lee Griffiths back?
I'm pleased to see all the players playing. It's good for Lee because he's had a tough time. It was nice to see him back on the pitch. But it's one game, one goal. He's got to stay in the team. He's got to continue producing. I want as many choices as possible. So if Lee becomes a choice that I've got to make come March, then that would be great, on top of the players that I've already got.
You said that, forget about all talk of potentially leaving during this window, he wants to fight for his place in the team. Whether he gets in the team is another matter. Is that the sort of chat that you want to hear from a player?
I think you want every player to fight for their place in the team. I think if you've got that competitive edge in your make-up, then it's great for everybody.
You've seen McGinn, McTominay and Tierney, Campbell. Keeping your fingers crossed that there's no more before the game's coming up.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the 3 that you've mentioned recover well and can be available in March. It would be close for all of them, but always hopeful. Never ruling anybody out at this stage. It's still a long time to go before we get to March. I'm sure maybe if we got one of them back, and you could lose someone else. So there's lots that can happen over the coming days and weeks. Lots of games to play. I'm sure there'll be some good news and some bad news, and hopefully more good news than bad.
Have you had any feedback for the 3 guys with regards how close?
Yeah, I got feedback from the medical department. They're all 3 are working towards recovery. Whether they make it or not is a different story.
Is there any of the 3, Steve, that you can say that you're optimistic might make it?
Yeah, I'm optimistic that they'll all make it. That's the nature. That's what you have to be. So hopefully,
realistically,
I think they'll be close. All 3 will be close. Whether they're close and make it or whether they're close and just miss it it's going to be decided by recovery. Without having first-hand knowledge of how the clubs recover the players and have the exact details of what's going to happen, how the recovery is going to be, then it's difficult for me to sit here and gauge it. I do know that all the players will be doing their best to be fit, and I'm sure the clubs want them fit to help their own cause anyway, so let's just wait and see what happens.
What's that process like, Steve? Do you just leave it alone, or is it sort of regular contacts for regular updates?
No, I just leave it alone. The players belong to their clubs. They're working with the club medical staff and rehabilitation staff, and they'll get fit as quickly as they can.
It's been much talked about, though, the strength of that midfield. If it's beginning McTominay were to miss out, how encouraging is it to see John Fleck getting rave reviews, linked with multi-million-pound moves, Stuart Armstrong really playing his way back into Premier League football as well?
No, Stuart's played his way in. Kenny McLean's doing well at Norwich. John Fleck, like you said, has been really good for Sheffield United this year. I enjoy watching Sheffield United. I've got John Fleck and Ollie McBurney there. Good team to watch. They play well. Ollie's done well, and it's nice to see them all working. But a lot of the time, you guys or you people in front of me like to talk about the players that have not been in the team. I thought the midfield pairing that I've had in the last couple of games, Ryan, Jack and Callum McGregor, did very well for us.
I'm going to go back to the 3 a minute, particularly with Kieran's situation. Arsenal were obviously very protective of him when it came to his other injury. Is that one that you're dealing probably more with caution in terms of how Arsenal see that situation?
Kieran's never been in any of the squads that I've had so far, so if he was to make this squad coming up, it would be great. If he doesn't, then I've got left backs that have been in the squad and done well for me. So again, we speak about people that are not there. Greg Taylor came in to the last couple of games and did excellent for us, having not played a lot of minutes of football with Celtic. So I think it's always good to remember the ones that have done well for you.
Lawrence Shankland's a chance for him to potentially get a start.
He has to get in the squad first. No, Lawrence is doing well, scoring goals, as he always does. I thought his finish against Hibs the other night was really good. It was a finisher, goal scorer, didn't panic, rolled it into the bottom corner. He's done well, Lawrence. Dundee United are doing well, so Lawrence will feel good about himself. So you've got Lawrence, Stephen Naismith back on the pitch for Hearts. Fingers crossed Stephen will stay fit. Like I mentioned, Ollie McBurney doing well. Lee Griffiths hopefully going to get a run in the Celtic team and score a few goals. So suddenly we've hopefully got some options up front.
Steve, you said quite a few times that you've been learning on the job of the international season. But how have you found it? It's quite a big break in the massive game against Israel. A lot of your focus will be on Israel, but how do you split also focusing on the possibility of a final, which would be the biggest game in 2 decades, away from home, a very different game? How are you preparing? How do you find it?
Different, but I've got, like you say, I've got 3 months. I was told that this was the worst period. A lot of people told me between the November and March would be a long time, but the good thing is I've got 3 games to prepare for, because I'm preparing for Israel, I've got to prepare for Norway, and I've got to prepare for Serbia. So we've got loads of video work that we can do, loads of work that can keep our mind occupied. For the players, when they meet up, the focus will be on the first game, because without winning the first game, the second game's irrelevant. So we have to win the first game, and then you've got 5 days between the first game and the second game. But the good thing is we'll have the preparation already done for whichever opponent is going to be in the second game.
Can I ask you about, just going back to Lawrence, albeit just 1 goal, but what do you think that 1 goal against top-tier opposition can do for a player's confidence? Because if a player's consistently hearing, or you're banging them in against lower league opposition, then what do you think that could do for them?
I think the make-up of any goal scorer that I've ever come across in football is that they like to score goals. They don't care who the opposition is, they don't care what level of opposition it is, they just like to see the ball hitting the back of the net, and Lawrence is very good at doing that.
Do you think it's good that he's stayed in Scotland? Because obviously last season when he was at Ayr United there was a lot of chat about him moving on, lots of clubs were being linked with him, but obviously he went to Dundee United. Do you think that's helped him this season?
I think it was a good move for him to go to Dundee United, because it's a club on the up. Look as though they're going to come back to the Scottish Premier League, which is good. It's always nice to be, if you're a player, it's always nice to be part of a winning team. Lawrence is part of a winning team at the moment, and I'm certainly not going to sit here and say that he should move club, because club managers will then get upset at me about talking about their players getting a move. So no, he's doing very well, and long may it continue.
Last couple, please.
When you look at the title race in Scotland, it's one of the most exciting for years. Does that help you when you've got a lot of Celtic players in there, and there's a couple of Rangers players now that that keeps everyone on edge, they're having to play at the top level every week?
I think for every player it's going to be good, and for every team in Scotland. So hopefully the other clubs look at Celtic and Rangers and think they can be involved in the title races. We'll all be taking points off them along the way. I think it's wrong for me to sit here and say you can only focus on those two big clubs that are going to fight out the title. It's up to the rest of the teams to make it even more interesting, be taking points off them along the way. And I've got a number of players playing for different clubs in Scotland, so hopefully they'll do well.
Steve, I just asked Stephen the same question, but how important is it, the crowd here on that Thursday night against Israel, how important is it there to sell it?
I think it will be a sellout. I've said that consistently. I'm sure the Scottish public will come. The ticket sales just now are going well. Not well enough that we've sold out, so if people haven't bought a ticket yet, they should get their money out and get along. It's well priced. I think it's priced to be a sellout. I'm sure it'll be a sellout because everyone realises what a big game it is for the country. And like I said before, everybody wants Scotland. Everyone involved with Scotland wants to be at the Euro 2020s. The Tartan Army will be there in full voice, and hopefully we can give them plenty to shout about.
Steve, the last couple from you for me. Just going back to the fixture situation, by all accounts, Israel are going to have their calendar clean. Do you look on with that with envy, or how do you view that situation, that they're not playing and your guys won't be?
No, they've made the choice. They do what they do. Obviously, they're foreign players, or the players who are playing outside Israel will have fixtures that weekend anyways. And it would be similar here. We've obviously got a lot of players potentially in the squad that are plying their trade down south, and they'll be playing matches that weekend. So, like I said before, you just have to deal with what you've got. And if it's a week to be ready, we'll be ready. If it's a day to be ready, we'll be ready.
Apparently, they want to do their training away from Scottish eyes down south.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just a quick question about your old colleague at Kilmarnock, Alex Dyer. He said he'd been in dialogue with you before and during taking the job, and you pleased for him?
Yeah, I'm delighted for Alex. Deserves his chance. Good man, good coach, and hopefully turns out to be a really good manager for Kilmarnock.
You're taking in the game tonight?
Yeah, but I'm going to that game tonight. That's the one for tonight, and then I have another couple at the weekend. So it's nice to be up watching a few games, and it's going to be an interesting second half of the season in Scotland.